so after... music intro. I figured I would allow you to enjoy it. Yeah. After the emotional damage the other day of Dreamscaper, we're back today playing another focused mental health title. It's Finch. Supposedly a lot to do with trauma, letting go, familial ties, all of these wonderful things that as humans seem to struggle with. Just checking in on the odd chat there, excuse me. Okay, so, here we are.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you.
Okay.
And I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house. I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms. Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
It's beautiful. Recently I've just come out from being in some land. Quite like this, actually.
My mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Like the bird motif. So what do we think? Classic story. Path less trodden, or this one that goes slightly... I think we'll go down this way. Wow, sound engineering is beautiful. Very oppressive feeling. Accurately animated digital. Fox
The
gloves.
truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
Incredibly dangerous.
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent. As if they're about to say something, but never do.
It's jerking your camera around. It's really disconcerting, actually. Huh. Oh, that's the nice part. I've yet to see a frog.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it. As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
I would be too if I painted over with a brush. Alright. Yeah, this is a heavily uncomfortable feeling. I like the Pacific Northwest kind of atmosphere.
I heard something moving around in the garage. Prowling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Twinkly pianos. A little bit of wind chimes. Nice. Although, somehow this is still a really
For the
oppressive.
first time in years, I felt like I was home.
Familiar feeling recently.
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
Sad. Drastically painful as well, I think, coming home after a long time. Especially if you've been away. Signs like this of
Like how
loads of
only one
takeout
restaurant
dishes
would deliver
everywhere.
to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
My youth. I also had a lot of Chinese food. Excellent food though. I haven't found a place like it. Even in Toronto, which usually has excellent food.
Nothing in the
Excellent,
house
excellent
looked
food.
abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
I hate that sound of flies.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night. After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
I have a very uncomfortable feeling about millipedes, so if there end up being any millipedes in this game, you're gonna... Oh. Little creepy, mate.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
Wow.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him. Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Wow. Amazing. I'm hyper impressed with this so far. This is a immersive
From the paintings on the
journey
wall,
through
it was clear my
storytelling.
brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead. I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
Lovely.
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Ah, this is the creature with all the masks. And colonies. I love the jellyfish.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
It's terrible. Guiding lights in games will lead you towards.
My Halloween candy was all gone.
I really don't want to put this child through this.
Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
I ate a lot of things that night.
I don't want this child to be sick.
I
That's
kept
gonna be
eating
hard.
and eating. Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Frozen. Mother's sick, maybe? This cat sure does not want to jump. Oh.
and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
Having recently gone on a interesting trip. That's an odd habit, something I never thought I'd do because of the heights involved. I'm a pretty terrible for heights. This is very, very interesting. Having seen the sightline from this, you've got to imagine that that's the point of reference. Where are you, rabbits? Lovely behavior, you really want to help. Yes, gotcha.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger. A mama rabbit. She was
I got a
almost
bit
too
of a
big
problem
to
with
hear.
that, Mom.
I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
This is interesting mechanics. Press the right.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
So immersive.
I wanted
Already
fat,
gone.
juicy seals.
Oh. That was not inverted. I don't know why I expected that.
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
I was wondering if they were going to do the blood trail piece. Ooh. Maybe I'm just having trouble with this. There we go.
Grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Oh, interesting.
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, and I moved real quiet.
That's terribly upsetting.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't. After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe. I got closer and closer. All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have. I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here, before my mom sealed the doors. This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. We got along, and it was a good place to hide from my mom. When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't. One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time. Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious. Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house. Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways. Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother. The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace. There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book. Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Very interesting to see Milton's paintings all over this location. Okay, if we're entering is here. I'm going to pause now and come back to this in a short little while. So thank you very much for holding on with me.